how would you explain the team's performance in the first half, and what hope can you give supporters that this team can still fight to make the playoffs?
Well, the first question, I felt that was two parts. One, the first 10 minutes of the game, where we start to put a lot of pressure, we start to get numbers in the final third, and we had a good start. And then we conceded a silly goal, in my opinion, and then we start to go down mentally, and we couldn't even connect certain passes, and we start to not to be as proactive as we started the game. And then we concede the second one in a set piece, and then it's almost like a lot of, I don't know, not a lot of motivation there to just connect the passes and go forward and there. So we lost a little bit the control of the game. I think that the second half was all ours. I felt like we were dominating the whole second half and we were on the front foot, but probably we couldn't find the right amount of quality in the final third because we were all over them, but we couldn't really create valuable chances, and the few that we got, we missed. So that was the game. The other one for me is just we scored a goal at the end of the game, and the team never quit. The team continued fighting, competing, and going for the goals. Even the last minute we tried with the set piece. I mean, the team is going to fight till the end. That's what I can say.
You know, Gonzalo, after the last game, you know, Andrew Gutman and some other players have said we just have to win every game at home. This is a loss. So, you know, and I've asked you before, do you feel up against the wall at this point, considering the standings? And I know the second half was better, but what do you believe was working? Because it was difficult to unbalance Red Bull New York throughout the game.
Well, yeah, so on the first thing is now we have to come back and be strong against Columbus. The points that we lost tonight, we have to re-get them on Sunday. So now we have to motivate the team and come back and regroup and try to all the little things to come back with a strong lineup and try to win that game. Then what I felt was working was we were a bit more proactive, especially those 10 minutes. We were kind of getting behind, and it's tough against Red Bulls always, because they always go for the second balls, for the second transition, the first transition, dividing the ball, going for 50-50 challenges, and they're very physical. So at some point I felt that we needed that to be more competitive in those little moments. But I felt that when we were on the front foot, we were playing forward faster and then sprinting in behind the back line. We were more dangerous. So there were a lot of things that worked. Then again, the final piece, the final touch, the final piece of quality in the final third was what we were missing for some periods of time. But certainly we tried. We tried to put pressure. I think we almost tripled the number of passes of Red Bulls. We have 70% of possession, which can say nothing because we lost, right? But we create a lot of crosses, a lot of shots, and it was just probably that lack of quality in certain moments in the final third.
What was the thought process in starting Joseph Martinez, and what did you think of his performance up until the goal?
Well, the idea was we needed goals, and we know Joseph can certainly score goals. We tried to put more natural wingers at the beginning with Ronaldo on the right side and Luis on the left, trying to stretch them in behind. We did a few times, but probably not as often as I was expecting. And then the movement of Joseph at times when he tries to stretch the line, but also when he drops, and he did that a couple of times, and it was dangerous when he was able to receive the ball in between the lines and connect, and then on balance in behind. So that was kind of the thought in behind, and I mean, that's it pretty much.
Do you think Joseph's movement is good enough to move the back line at this point?
Yes, I think it is. I think also, he needed this goal also to kind of come back to who he is and all that. But I feel like at times I try to balance that, like kind of the type of movements we want with a little bit of the quality that he has just naturally to get those balls. So the last game, for example, it was an offside on him, but it was very similar play to today's goal. So that's what I was looking for, a little bit of that combination in the middle of the park with Marcelino, Thiago, so they can activate Joseph in those runs in behind, which is something that he does very well. So I was thinking a little bit on that. Once we break the lines and get in those areas, Joseph's movement in behind is very good. So I think, yes, his movement is good. Obviously, he needs a bit more confidence. Sometimes he needs also, to go earlier a little bit. There were a couple crosses that went in front of him. He needs to get there for sure, but I think that will come in time.
Joe, Felipe, and a reminder, locker room is open. Joe, go ahead.
I also wanted to ask about Joseph, but not necessarily his movement, but just maybe the mentality that he has. In the 47th minute, there was a moment where he received the ball with his back to goal, and he had at least a couple runners moving in behind, and he passed it back. Again, against Cincinnati late in the game, there was also a moment where he was in a dangerous position and kind of laid it off. Is it concerning to you at all for a player like him to just not be facilitating some of those runs at times?
Well, yeah, I saw that play. It was more on the left, a dummy ball, and then he had two players to play. I don't know if the ball wasn't completely clean, so he didn't want to miss it, and then he preferred to be secure. After that, we switched upon attacking. It was also dangerous, but I understand the play that you are saying. Normally, Joe does that very well. I think normally the link-up play for Joseph in those areas is normally pretty good. I mean, again, there are players, not just forwards, but any player has ups and downs in their careers, and at times number 9s, they just need one goal to come back to who they are. So I expect that from Joseph, but at the same time, yes, there are things that we all can do better, him included, and we all have to come back with a better response and raise the quality, all of us, not just Joseph. I feel like we are all targeting Joseph, but it's all of us. We have to come back with a little bit more quality in certain moments of the game, and that's the challenge for us.
This is kind of another 30,000-foot question, but this isn't the first time that we've talked about, or you talked about, the players kind of losing confidence or motivation after the opponent's score. Knowing the importance of this game, how concerning is that after the first and second goals, they just seem to drop off so significantly?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's normal. I mean, imagine all the motivation you have into this game. You are trying to do everything right. In the first few minutes, you are more dominant. You are trying to get the chances that you want, and then you concede certain goals like that. And sometimes, we are humans, and I understand the players at times thinking still in those 2 goals, and now we have to come back again. And those lapses of moments, took us a while to come back into the game. But I mean, it's part of what we always say, the goals, the change games. Los goles cambian los partidos, and I think today those goals changed the momentum of the team, and that didn't help to that mood. But again, we have to do better there. I agree with you. We have to come back. The response now is very important, and come back with Columbus, and I know this one will bring the team a little bit down. We need to do that today, and then tomorrow we'll come back strong and try to put a very good game plan, good training sessions, and then good lineup for Columbus.
Last 2, John, then Felipe.
Coach, you mentioned goals change games. Going back to the second goal that was on the board, that was the lengthy VAR review, did you get any explanation from either the fourth or anybody out there as to why it went from a disallowed goal and offside to a goal on the board?
Yeah, well, no explanations. There were many things that were not explained today, but on that one, I assume that he was onside, and I think he participated in the play. That's what I understand that the referees were saying, that yes, he was involved in that play even though he didn't touch it, but apparently he was onside. I haven't seen the play, so I will have to trust in the VAR and the referees.
Felipe, last one in English.
Thanks. Gonzalo, so 13th place, currently out of the playoffs, and this loss seems like a big blow. How critical is the state of the club right now, in your opinion?
Well, just as I said, the response is now very important. Obviously, we are not in a good position. Today could have been that game that put us in a good position. Now the opposite thing happened. And again, that's the response that I'm expecting from all of us, to come back, be strong, and and try to fight till the end. That's the only possible solution and outcome that I expect from all of us in the club is to be strong, to be together. We praise ourselves for being a family, and families are together in this moment. So we need to come back like that, try to fight, compete again, and try to go to win 3 points away.
We'll switch over to Spanish. Just got time for just a few. We'll start.
Coach, ¿cómo levantar el ánimo a los jugadores? Hoy muchos de ellos anímicamente destrozados. Se les notaba en el rostro que no se sentían bien, que estaban incómodos. Le cuesta al equipo, le cuesta a algunos jugadores levantar el ánimo después de recibir un gol en contra. ¿Qué podemos hacer con eso?
Sí, bueno, lo decía un poco en inglés, ¿no? Yo creo que es normal, somos seres humanos y de repente yo creo que el equipo estaba muy concentrado en los primeros minutos, tratar de empezar fuertes, creo que lo hicimos, los primeros 10, 12 minutos del juego empezamos bien, pero es normal de repente recibir un gol, sobre todo de esa manera, un poco con un pequeño rebote, un balón a primer poste que hay un contacto y le queda el rebote al jugador y mete un gol de fuera del área. Me parece que eso te desanima de alguna manera, entiendo a los jugadores. El segundo gol creo que también nos cuesta, aparte con todo el drama del VAR y tal, la desmotivación obviamente vuelve a hacerse presente y obviamente tenemos que hacerlo mejor en esos momentos, pero una vez más entiendo la parte mental de los jugadores, creo que al final ellos se recuperan y creo que vuelven e intentan y tratan de jugar y tratan de hacerlo y al final terminaron poniendo bajo mucha presión en muchos momentos a Red Bulls con centros, con jugadas de peligro e incluso conseguimos el último gol, que una vez más los goles cambian partidos. Anotamos ese gol en los primeros minutos del segundo tiempo y seguramente esa motivación de la que hablas hubiera regresado, como se mostró en el último minuto, fuimos al frente y conseguimos un córner. Creo que en esos momentos tenemos que hacerlo mejor mentalmente y tratar de seguir dentro del partido.
Henry Jr.
Coach, ha sido una cosa esta temporada, algo que ha pasado frecuentemente, que son los problemas en el último tercio, en el ataque. Me pregunto, ¿qué se está haciendo para mejorar este problema o qué se va a hacer? Y si hay tiempo para mejorar eso esta temporada.
Sí, bueno, ¿qué se está haciendo? Se está trabajando mucho en movimientos. Creo que si algo no nos podemos quejar es de llegar al último tercio. Creo que llegamos. ¿Qué es lo que falta? Pues esa cuotita de calidad, ¿no? que es lo que normalmente marca la diferencia. Lo escucho en muchos entrenadores que al final ahí es donde la calidad de los jugadores marca la diferencia. Entrenamos mucho situaciones de juego donde tenemos que llegar al último tercio y ser peligrosos, diferentes tipos de centros, diferentes tipos de disparos, diferentes tipos de llegadas. Y creo que hoy hemos intentado casi todas, pero el último pase, el último tiro no ha sido bueno y en eso seguimos trabajando. Ahora hay veces que están más finos los jugadores que otras veces. El día del partido pasado en Cincinnati, por ejemplo, creo que llegamos por todos lados a Cincinnati, pero faltó también esa cuotita de calidad que nos pudo haber dado los 3 puntos y a veces cuando tú comienzas a ganar generando tantas llegadas, la confianza sigue viniendo y eso te da esos momentos donde ves a equipos que generan muchos goles. Creo que el equipo genera muchas llegadas, pero no estamos produciendo la cantidad de goles que necesitamos y tenemos que afinar la puntería y levantar un poquito la calidad en el último tercio.
Last two, Juan Carlos and Diego, go ahead.
Profe, la pregunta sería, Goodman, ¿cuál es la condición física o de salud de Goodman en estos momentos y por qué comenzar con Wiley y no con Goodman en este partido que precisamente, claro, desde arriba todo se ve más fácil, pero se veía como fácilmente entraban por todo el carril derecho o el carril izquierdo?
Sí, te respondo muy fácil. Goodman, una vez hay que poner todo en contexto, ¿no? Y yo les decía la otra vez que yo tengo más información que ustedes, por eso a veces sé que no hace sentido las cosas que uno tomamos decisiones, pero al explicarlas quizás haga sentido. Goodman viene de una lesión muy larga, de un tendón en el cuádriceps izquierdo. y de hecho ha venido la progresión de los minutos que hemos buscado, pero el partido pasado no estaba planeado que Gutman terminara el partido, que jugara más de 60-65. Lo dejé en el partido con Cincinnati, porque Caleb Wiley tenía tarjeta amarilla y preferí no arriesgar la tarjeta amarilla, y terminó el partido. Al final, seguramente vieron, después de que anota su gol, siente una sensación en el músculo y fue simplemente que estaba cansado, sobrecargado de la misma lesión, y entonces se retira. Obviamente esas son señales para uno como entrenador de que quizás no tenemos un jugador para 90 minutos del próximo partido. Había estado reportando todavía ciertos síntomas el día de ayer incluso, y le dimos otro día de descanso, ayer no entrenó. Entonces a mí se me hace muy difícil que un jugador que no entrena el día anterior, que viene una lesión larga y que se sale de un partido porque siente algo en el cuádriceps, se me hace muy difícil volverlo a poner de inicio. Si Gutman se hubiera reportado bien, no hubiera salido del partido y hubiera estado físicamente bien, seguramente hubiera iniciado este encuentro, pero no fue así. Entonces tuvimos que cambiar de alguna manera el plan y ajustamos con la alineación que vieron, basado en que yo creía que Gutman nos podría dar máximo 45 minutos de calidad del día de hoy.
Gonzalo, buenas noches.
Sí, Diego.
Quería preguntarte, recién decías de que te faltaba o que le faltó a algunos jugadores hoy esa claridad en los últimos metros como para meter esa pelota clave que rompa línea y quedar con una ventaja de cara a la definición. ¿Cuánto de eso tiene que ver también cómo se dio el partido, de tener que jugar un poco apurado porque estaba 0-2 abajo y el reloj avanzaba y el resultado no llegaba? Y lo otro que te quiero preguntar es, ¿cómo estás vos para encarar este final de temporada, este remate antes de llegar a playoff? Si tenés la fuerza, si tenés la energía de revertir esta realidad algo irregular que hoy te tiene afuera de playoff.
Sí, bueno, primero la primera pregunta que haces, sí, evidentemente lo que decía un poco, los goles cambian partidos y el ánimo del equipo cuando vas perdiendo 2, a veces incluso por esas ganas de querer volver al encuentro comienzas a tener precipitaciones con la pelota. O sea, no siempre es que el equipo se cae mentalmente, es que comienzas a tratar de precipitar las jugadas y forzarlas y tratar de hacer un poquito de más, y eso te lleva a perder balones y eso vuelve a impactar negativamente en la mente del jugador. Y me ha tocado como jugador pasar por eso, así es que los puedo entender. Sí es verdad que creo que por momentos, una vez que superábamos ciertas líneas de presión, el pequeño empujoncito, la pequeña jaloncito nos alentaba esos momentos donde quizás podríamos haber superado, y ese estilo que tiene Red Bulls es muy físico, de que supera la marca Thiago y un empujón por atrás le hace perder el balance, medio se resbala pero sigue, entonces no se marca foul, y eso alentó la jugada y ya no pudimos penetrar de alguna manera más importante. Y eso pasó continuamente con Marcelino, con Thiago, con Luis en el primer tiempo, esos pequeños empujones, desequilibrios, y que creo que hubieran podido marcar la diferencia si se hubiera dejado correr más la jugada. Y bueno, eso pasa, habrá que recuperar el equipo mentalmente seguramente. ¿De cómo estoy? Estoy bien, estoy fuerte, estoy con ganas de revertir esto. Obviamente el ánimo del equipo ahora en el vestidor es de tristeza, es de insatisfacción, es de obviamente de cierta frustración, pero yo no puedo sumarme a eso. Yo tengo que estar siempre alto y tratar de estar con la cabeza arriba, motivar a mis compañeros, porque nadie puede motivar a alguien si no está motivado. Entonces tengo que estar fuerte. Creo que lo estoy porque sé que el equipo trabaja fuerte, que no se rinde, que pelea hasta el final, y yo creo que este puede ser un cierre de torneo donde todos tengamos que hacer eso y regresar en la tabla de una manera importante. Ahora ya no hay mucho margen de error, habrá que ser infalibles en ciertos momentos de los partidos y concentrarnos más en esos momentos para sacar esto adelante, pero creo que estoy fuerte y con ganas de revertir esta situación.
All right, thanks everyone. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.